of events heading toward to another world championship next year in Las Vegas, just so you guys know. So this is the launch event, International Field of Riders, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. And we now, I think I do have a little playlist I can bring up for you guys here to give you the first rider reveal in the CVR World Cup. Here you guys go. All right, so we are coming right back here. I just want to make sure we got all the audio levels ready to go. And joining us now, as you can see, we just revealed the first riders that are going to be in here. And we've got Daniel Schmidheiny here, right alongside Simon and myself. And Daniel, I want to say, first of all, welcome to the program. And really, congratulations on your spot.
Thanks. Yeah, I was quite surprised to get called out by Frank, our team boss, if you want it that way. He contacted me, and I mean, I didn't have to think twice, did I? I just had to arrange things with business and family to make sure I could fly over. I mean, it's 10,000 kilometers from here to Las Vegas. My wife was kind of, "You're flying 10,000 kilometers for a 40-minute race, in a virtual race?" And I was like, yeah. But she's supporting me. So yeah, I'm really excited about it.
Right on, right on. And how long then, Daniel, have you been racing? I mean, I'm really familiar with your name, but a lot of people out there might not be. And so we're going to need a little bit of background with you. What, you know, you're coming to this new World Cup event. It's a huge event, putting bicycle racing and esports reimagined, right? Putting the sport in esports. I mean, you've been doing this new type of esport for quite a while, though. I think you were even in the beta program.
Yeah, that's right. I joined the beta program not as one of the first users. I was like maybe 2 months after the program, you know, launched. So I didn't. What was that island called? Jarvis Island.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I never raced on Jarvis. So I'm kind of the second beta stage that came onto Botopia. So I've been racing about or training for about 15,000 kilometers on Zwift in total, and that was when was that? Was that October 2015? Is that right?
Whew.
Yeah, October 2015. So I've been on there for a while, and it's a super program for me. It's the only way I can get some race action, some really heavy races in for building my stamina for races. So yeah, I've been on Zwift a while. That's right.
And you're coming out of Switzerland, right? And
That's right.
you mountain biker, correct?
I do everything.
Everything.
I
Okay.
race. Yeah. I race bikes, mountain bikes, road racing, time trials. I even play. Do you know the sport cycle ball? Have you heard of
No,
cycle
I
ball?
think I've seen it. Simon, do you know this sport?
Is that like polo on single speed bikes?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's a UCI sport. I mean, it's a UCI category. So the Swiss are
Wow.
quite good in that, and there's a local team here, and they usually have like
What
this
aren't
little
they good
tournament, and
in?
I usually race that. Yeah.
As far as cycling goes.
Daniel,
Yeah,
can
yeah.
I ask you something about your heritage? I know Switzerland a lot. It's just the most beautiful country. Great place to ride a
Thank you.
bike. But
Oh
actually,
yeah.
the interesting thing about Switzerland is it's kind of three countries really, because it's the French-speaking bit, the German-speaking bit, and the Italian-speaking bit. And I mean, we know
Yes.
that Cancellara is Swiss and comes from the Italian-speaking bit. Which bit do you come from? And how does that kind of affect the kind of riding you do, if at all?
Well, I come from all over the place in Switzerland, to be honest. I was born in the French-speaking part, and you might hear my accent. My mum is English, so I'm a bit of a mixture. But I
Right.
live in the right in the northern part of Switzerland. You might have heard of the Rhine Falls.
Yep.
It's like the biggest waterfall in Europe. So I live right next to the Rhine Fall. It's like 1 kilometer from my house. So that's where
Wow.
I come from.
Fantastic.
The only unfortunate thing is that I leave quite a lot. Well, for us Swiss people, I live a lot. It's a long distance to go to the big mountain passes, like the Gotthard and the Susten and all those big mountain passes. So I can't do those regularly. I have to drive there by car usually. So that's a bit of a downside. But the area is beautiful here, and not a lot of traffic, nice roads. Yeah, it's a great
Yeah.
country for cycling, definitely.
I've seen a little bit of bio on you, and it says you finished the Tour of Switzerland. Is that the road race? Is that the same race that the pros do? Because that is a
No,
punishing course.
no. The race I finished is called the Tour. That's like the biggest ultra cycling event in the world. It's well, there's about 600 riders, so it beats any Ram or Race Around Ireland and that kind of thing. But it's not the longest, obviously. It's 1,060 kilometers depending on the course, and I finished that in 2013 as a solo rider. So that was like 1,060 kilometers and 14,500 meters of climbing, like non-stop.
Wow. So your
Yeah.
endurance is not in question. I mean, I would have thought, I don't know what the course is going to be in Vegas yet, but in Swift racing, sprinting ability is key, particularly at the end of races. Well, it is in all kinds of races, but sprinting is so important. Or high power for a
Right.
short period is so important in Swift. I mean, you must have skills at both ends of the
Yes.
cycling spectrum then, because you can obviously go a long way for a long time, but you can also go fast for a short distance.
Well, I'm training. I always had a very good sprint power. It's just I used to do track and field events, running and throwing events, javelin and that kind of stuff. So I have a little bit of explosiveness in my legs. I'm a bit. I'm not a very good cross country rider because I just can't do those 4 or 5 minute, 5-6 watts per kilograms. That's where I suffer. But I can sprint pretty well. I have like a 20-second 1,200 watt power I can get in a Zwift race. That's pretty
Wow.
good. Yeah, just for the sprints, and then I'm usually dead after that. That's right.
But so I guess you'd be fairly confident you could hang with the pack until the sprint in most races.
I don't know who's coming, so I know I've heard a couple of names dropped somewhere. So I won't say anything about that. But yes, I think I understand the tactics and the way how the game works. We call it the getting a Frank Garcia award. So being able to stay with the lead group and doing the least watt per kilogram average. It's called doing the Garcia. So I can
Yeah,
do
that's
that.
just called
I'm,
that's just called smart racing, though, isn't it?
that's
That's
right.
just
That's
good
right.
racing.
That's the same like in real life. So you see the big sprinters, they just sit in the pack and then they do the
Yeah.
wattage bazooka, for the final. So I try to do it that way, although I can tackle like the KOMs on Vertopia, the two sides, the 1 minute, 2 minute, big power, that I can do that. Oh, but I can't tell too much,
Yeah.
otherwise, everybody else will know how I'll race.
Yeah, yeah. Don't give too much away. What kind of
No.
trainer do you ride at home?
Actually, I deal with all sorts of trainers. So I have a kicker. I had a Drivo. I had a Tax Neo. Currently I'm running a Cura, an Elite Cura with B Pro power meter pedals. For me, it's easier to race actually with a dumb trainer. I found it easier for me. But I can get a smart trainer. They're down in my cellar, so I can get one if I really need one. Yeah.
That's a good place to be.
We actually had a conversation. Oh, sorry, Simon.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Nathan.
Okay, so I had a similar conversation about that. I tend to like to ride on the dumb trainer, especially when racing. It seems, I don't know. I've had a better experience. It seems like overall, every time I've raced on the traditional trainer. I'm gonna call it the traditional trainer. I'm not gonna be mean to the old trainer. To the old trainer.
The dumb trainer. Yeah, no, Nathan, I can confirm that.
Go ahead, Daniel.
Yeah, I just want to say I can confirm that because I like working on my cadence at some points, and obviously this is not quite how it would be in real life, because you have the climbs, cadence drops, you have to shift gears. I like focusing on my cadence and deciding when I want to speed things up or slow things down from cadence wise. So, and I think it's easier to attack. I don't tend to attack downhill because I think that's not proper racing. But you get people that attack downhill because they're on a dumb trainer too, and then you're gone on the box hill descent if you can't dig deep on the downhill. And I found that very disturbing on the smart trainer.
Yeah. Similar here.
Daniel,
similar here.
You must be very comfortable then at high cadence. I mean, because I have raced using my smart trainer as a dumb trainer on occasion, and personally, I just don't do enough high cadence work to be any good at it. So once we get over to kind of over 100 RPM, I'm toast really, because I don't think my aerobic system is used to it. But you must be pretty comfortable at high cadence then.
Well, yeah, I'm comfortable, but I tend to race at like 87 to 90 RPM average, which I think is just standard. But I have a bad habit of getting out of the saddle on climbs. It's just psychological. Going up box hill, I just get out of the saddle, and I find it easier then to even drop the cadence down to 60 or 70 and just put out those watts, 5.5 watts per kilogram standing. So it's a bit of a bad habit, really, but I tend not to go over 100 regularly. So, I haven't trained it much. Yeah.
Okay. Nathan, I'm just going to have to ask Daniel one more question because I'm sure the audience is absolutely dying to know. And if this is kind of being over-curious, Daniel, you're going to have to tell me. But how come you can go to your cellar and pick any one of the best smart trainers in the world? What's going on there, dude? Are you in the business or?
Yes. I have a web shop, and sorry, I'm just being a bit too loud.
You're fine. No worries.
I have a web shop, and I can get Elite trainers, and I can get Wahoo trainers, and I can get Tax trainers. So I've tested them all. I sold them to people. I'm still selling them. So I have a couple in stock. Basically I can choose the one I want, and then I resell it as a used one. But currently I've been running the Cura for about 4 months now, and I'm very happy with it.
Okay,
nice.
Interesting.
Wow.
Well, this is a bad question to ask a guy who sells trainers, but again, I'm sure the audience are going to would love to hear your view on this. Which do you think currently is the best smart trainer? Not particularly for racing, but for the general Zwifter.
Yeah, well, I must say that after testing all of them, I think for a standard user, the Tax Neo is probably I would call the best overall. It's very quiet, but the road feel, I don't like the road feel on the Tax Neo. I think the Kicker and the Elite Drivo Cura, they're the same system. I think they give you the best road feel. But when it comes down to the noise it makes and to the easiness of setup, etc., the software, and I must say Tax Neo is probably at the moment the benchmark, although I haven't tried the Cyclops.
Yeah, I wonder how that one fares against them all.
I've been dominating the conversation. I'll hand over to.
That's all right. That's your
I'll
job.
hand
Your
Daniel
job
back
is
to
for
you.
the interviews. So we love it. We love it. We really appreciate it. And actually, we really wanted to bring Daniel. You know, you've had quite the career so far on Zwift. 90 races. That's amazing. I think you're familiar with a lot of the boys we're watching right now who are about to head into their last half a lap. If you had a prediction right now for the race, okay, if you had a prediction for the race, right now we got Cartwright, Szerzynski, Boniface, it looks like at the front of this race. Looks like Quinton was dropped off. So we've got 3 riders, Cartwright, Boniface, and Team Poland here. If I don't know, can you guys help me with that name? Am I saying that correct? Daniel, you might have a better idea than I do. No idea.
I struggle with those.
Yeah, okay. Nobody can do it.
No,
okay,
not good
but
on
between
Polish.
those 3, did you got a prediction today for us, Daniel?
Yeah, I think Cartwright's going to pull this one.
All right. You can't go
the
wrong with the
guy.
right.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks a lot, Daniel. And congratulations on your spot. And I can't wait to see you in Vegas. It's going to be a great time.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate you taking time out of your day to help us with the rider reveal. And congratulations on your spot representing Switzerland.
Thanks. Thank you lots. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, no
and
problem.
have a nice evening.
You too.
Thanks, Daniel.
Have a good evening.
I look forward to meeting you in Vegas.
All right. So that was Daniel Schmidheiny. Thanks a lot, Daniel, for jumping in with us. That was really great to have him here, and what a great rider to have in the broadcast with us and in the